So what are we going to do?
We're going to make a movie. We're going to have it across the 2 conferences. So the first half will be done at the New Librarian Symposium and the second half will be done at the Information Online.
That's nuts! What's it all about?
Okay, so what we're looking at is having new librarians ask questions in front of a camera and participants at Information Online answering questions in front of a camera, sewing them all together and making a movie.
What's the most important piece of advice that you received when you were a new librarian?
The best piece of advice that I received as a new librarian is to take any job, even if it's not exactly what you want right then, and if it's not in the sector that you want to do, because experience is better than no job at all.
What kind of person do you think you'll be hiring in 3 years?
The kind of person that I'll be hiring in the next 3 years will be somebody who is tech savvy, versatile and flexible, customer oriented, a good communicator, passionate, willing to learn and to change.
The kind of person I'd like to hire in 3 years' time would be someone with a high level of technical skill. A person who could code, who could write scripts to help us to extract, manipulate and analyze data so that we can make better decisions and in some cases prove our value to our stakeholders. This person would also be adept in social media because they would be able to use it to learn, to communicate with our colleagues from around the library and the university and outside the library and university, even in non-library related fields to get a bigger picture of our environment. And they would have superb communication skills, mainly because I'd say they would need to be able to, for example, sell their ideas to me, convince me why we should do something. And finally, this person would have a high level of self-awareness. They would be always motivated to improve, to continue to learn, and would not freak out every time we had to change something. In fact, they would be looking for ways in which we could change and improve the way we offer our services. So if you're out there, in fact, I don't want to wait 3 years to hire you. I'd love to hire you now.
What skills can I add to my portfolio to best contribute to the library?
I think the skills that you can best add to your portfolio to contribute to the library is really customer service and technical skills. They're where we're going, that's where we're at, and also things that you're interested in, because if you get involved in the things that you're interested in, you'll be able to increase what the library can offer and also improve your own job prospects.
Customer service skills, digital media technical skills, as well as financial budget skills. Once I've started in one sector, how do I move across to another one? I think the best way is to anticipate where you might want to go and start developing skills that you think they might want before you even think about moving. So you put your hand up, you volunteer for something that would totally freak you out, even though you're not sure if it's going to have any use in your current job, because sometimes in the future you might have another job you want to apply for in a different sector that it could come up, it could be really useful for.
Really, the most valuable thing that I've found of my career is that you need to research the skills that you're going to need in a new sector before you move across. And one of the analogies at the conference here this morning was an ice hockey player who would move to where the puck was going to be. And really that's the idea if you're moving to a new sector, is finding out what skills are important in that sector and then acquiring those skills before you go for an interview, including pushing yourself really to perhaps put your hand up in the organisation where you're working to acquire those skills.
What
What's your best tip for job interviews?
Best tip for job interviews. I've actually got a number of tips. The first one that comes to mind for me is, if I've been through a job interview, is to record what I was asked and use that for preparing at another interview. Also, guess what they might ask and prepare for that as well. That could be really useful. The way you dress is important, and asking questions. Also, research the organisation. Lots of simple things, but just take the time and it'll help you out.
How do I prove the value of my skills?
In my experience, a good way to prove your skills is to obtain a reputation in your organisation as being an expert in a particular field. Maybe you're a really good literature searcher or a researcher in a particular subject area, and you can become the go-to person for your users, and that way you're proving your ability.
I think the best way to prove the value of your skills is just to give things a go, to put your hand up and volunteer yourself for projects that might be going on in your library, and basically just give things a go and let people know that you're willing to give things a go.
How can I be involved in high-level projects in my organisation?
To engage in higher level projects in your organisation, the best way is to talk to people who are doing it and to volunteer, even if it's to do a small thing, and to get interested and involved. Read the strategic plan, find out what your organisation is doing at a higher level, and see if you can get involved in that way.
How do you maintain your initial professional enthusiasm when you're developing your career?
Find things that you're passionate about. Get involved in projects that you know you'll enjoy, doing things that you'll love. And that means you can do the day-to-day things that you're not so keen about. As long as you've got something you're passionate about that you can do in your job, you'll be enthusiastic your career round.
If a library is a system to deliver on users' information needs, do you think there is any scope for a library to increase the need for information, to increase curiosity?
Yes, we do. What we need to do is inspire, to encourage people to go out there and light a flame. What we need to do is teach them the tools they need, show them what's out there, and basically just encourage them to go out, go forth and be brave, and figure out what information they need. We're there to help them. We'll show them the way, show them the tools, but the main thing is to light the fire.
So how do you balance your personal and professional self in social media?
So how do you balance your personal and your professional self online? Actually, I don't really. I am a professional librarian, but that's really part of who I am personally as well. So what that means online is that I have to be very careful what I say. So what you see online is me both professionally and personally.
How do you justify not sending junior staff to conferences?
Well, the short answer is that it's not really justifiable. And just my own experience, I've enjoyed the benefits of conferences, and when I've been in position to ask people to come to attend a conference as well, I've always tried to make that happen. So yeah, definitely there's not really a clear justification why not, except of course money and other things. But yeah, so how do you justify the unjustifiable? Like many things, just the cash.
I think librarianship does get better. I think that if you find a job that matches what you want to do and in an organisation that suits your values and how you enjoy working, then I think librarianship can be just the best job in the world.